afternoon, and thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. My name is Patricia Houston. I'm here with Yvette Andrade. And I just want to remind you that we are doing this Lunch and Learn, which is brought to you by family partners of Morris and Sussex counties. And today, Yvette is going to present in relation to a program they have. But before, I just want to give the opportunity to Yvette to introduce herself. Welcome, Yvette.
Thank you. My name is Yvette. I work for the County College of Morris through the Center for Workforce Development. I am an apprenticeship coordinator, and I focus on getting the students on board with our manufacturing bootcamp program. I assist students with the registration process and any questions in between that they may have regarding our program.
Thank you, Yvette. And I just want to remind everybody, all the information in relation to contact information, everything is going to be in the description below the video. So in case if you miss any information, all the contact information is going to be there. And with that, I know, Yvette, that you have a PowerPoint. The information that Yvette is going to be sharing is amazing information, so you don't want to miss any part of this. So Yvette, you're more than welcome to take the lead.
All right, thank you.
While Yvette is doing that, I also want to let you know that if you have any questions or something, at the end, we are going to allow time for Q&A. That part is not recorded, so you can feel more than comfortable to ask any question.
Okay. So before I start, I just want to clarify that any student that is interested in our manufacturing program does not have to have experience. It is okay if this is something that looks completely brand new to you. A lot of our students come from different backgrounds, retail, restaurant, etc. So you really don't have to have experience working in manufacturing, as long as you like working with your hands, or maybe you're just interested in exploring different avenues. This could potentially be something that could work for you. So here you see is our picture or a photo of our shop. It does look a little different now because that is when we first started filling in with different types of machinery. So if you were to visit our shop now, you would see a lot more machines. So what is advanced manufacturing? So advanced manufacturing is the production of the latest technology, using the latest technology to mass produce certain products. Different companies make different things. If it's an aerospace company, they're making things for aerospace, or a pharmaceutical company, biomedical, etc. There's tons of different types of companies out there, and different companies work with different types of material. We specifically focus on aluminum and steel, more aluminum than steel here at CCM. But it's basically products that are designed through computer-aided software. Students learn how to use that software, and I'll go over that shortly. And then once you learn how to use these machineries, you physically create the products, whether it's manually or on a computerized numerically controlled machine, which you see here on the right side of the photo. And here are the processes. So we have CAD, or computer-aided design. We also have computer-aided manufacturing, which is the top left, and that's called a CNC machine. Computer numerically controlled machine, sorry. And we have 3D printing, which is similar to CNC in a way where you're making a product using a type of coding, but you're adding instead of taking away. So for a CNC machine, you put in the block of steel, or you're putting in the block of aluminum, and you're chipping away to make the product. For the 3D printing, you're adding the resin or the plastic to make the product. All of these are types of processes within manufacturing. And again, you don't have to have experience to know or learn how to do this. So we teach it all to you. So how do you get started? We have several information sessions similar to what I'm doing today, where you sit through our info session, or you do a student tour on site. Those take part monthly or bi-weekly for the info sessions. So if you attend one of those and you find that this is something that you'd like to do, you then just submit an online application. I go over the application with you. We do have assessment testing that the student has to do. Once you pass those math and reading assessments, you then are able to register. There are ways to be exempt from our assessment test. So it's just kind of based off of the student and where they stand. I go over how to be exempt in another slide. Once you're registered, you then start the Shop Basics, which is the virtual piece of our program. We like to give students at least 2 weeks to complete the Shop Basics course. I do give students kind of like a deadline, so they have that in the back of their head when they're doing the Shop Basics course. If the student does not have a laptop, let us know, and we provide you with a laptop loaner that you can use to do this program. Once you're done with Shop Basics, you then go into the core course. Within the core course, you get college credits, industry credentials. We provide you with resume workshops, cover letter writing. We provide mock interviews. We show you how to create a LinkedIn account and promote yourself on LinkedIn. And then you have what's called interview week. So after you create your resume, after you do a mock interview, we set you with our partners that come to CCM and they interview you in hopes of getting an apprenticeship. The apprenticeship is paid training. The minimum to start is 17. That's what we're asking all of our employer partners to at least pay our students. Can be more, just really depends on the type of material that you're using or the type of company, how big the company is or where they're located. That all varies on how much you're going to get paid. And then you come back to CCM for additional instruction after you get hired. Keep in mind that you get hired as a full-time employee through that company. You come back to CCM for additional training, which is paid by the employer. So the student does not pay anything. All right, so to the left are our boot camp cohort dates. So we have a day cohort that's Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. That's the one that runs more often. We have one starting in June, another one that's starting in August, and then after that, we'll have our late fall that starts sometime in November, I believe. Then we have our evening cohorts, that's 2 nights a week and Saturdays. That one is for the student that perhaps has a full-time job during the day, but wants to do schooling at night. This is a good option for them. It's 2 evenings a week, Monday, usually Tuesday, Thursday, 5:30 to 8:30, and then Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Both sessions focus on the same thing. The virtual piece, the Shop Basics, which is a focus on introduction to safety, and the core course that focuses on shop and safety lectures, introduction to CAD/CAM, manual machining basics, and introduction to CNC G code. So these are the ways that a student can be exempt from our assessment. So within the last 5 years, if the student received a 500 on their SAT math or reading and writing, a C or higher in a college level class. So let's say the student came to CCM at some point and took a college algebra or an English Comp 1 or English Comp 2 and they got a C or higher, they would be exempt from that assessment. Received a college degree, an associate's degree or a bachelor's, or a three or higher in a math or English AP class. This is 3 examples of what our questions on the assessment look like. It is a virtual assessment, so they would be doing it here on site, but they would be taking it on a laptop, 40 questions each. And we give students up to 2 hours to take each assessment. So I always tell students to block at least 4 hours out of their day to take the assessment here with me at CCM. So once they complete the boot camp and they are ready to do interview week, we have many different employers coming here to interview different roles. So what you see here are our registered apprenticeship programs that we have through the Department of Labor. So we have a CNC operator, a manual machinist, a shop technician, CAD drafter, quality assurance inspector, die manufacturer, robotics technician, and maintenance mechanic. So all of these are different opportunities that the student can go into. Every student is different and every student has, things that they like and things that they don't like. So when we set up these interviews, we try to cater to the student as much as possible, but we always say, take advantage of all the interviews, even if that's not the role that you want to go into, because you just never know what's going to come up out of the conversation. So we always just say, take advantage of all the interviews and then let us know your next step. So these are like I said, they're registered through the Department of Labor. So there's a lot of paperwork that's involved for the employer to do, but everything that the student does is going to be on paper, and they do receive a certification once they're done with the apprenticeship. So these are additional certifications. OSHA 10 is occupational safety. That is offered through the course. So that is automatically given to the student. We do have NIMS and SolidWorks, which is 2 additional certifications that the student can either pay for out of pocket or see if their employer will pay for it. Just kind of depends if the employer thinks it's necessary for the student to have. Here's some data. So we have the participants' hourly rate after completion. So you see our, I guess, the most popular pay rate between the employers is between 18 and 19 to start. So that minimum of 17 is just kind of for us to make sure that the student is not being underpaid. But a lot of our employers don't have an issue with paying more. This is a field that is in dire need, and there's a lot of competition. So when the employers come here to interview our students, they don't mind hiring at a higher rate. To the left, you see the percentage of employed and employed in an apprenticeship. The only difference with that is that the students that are just employed are students that don't have the apprenticeship linked to their employment. So it was either a student that didn't want to do an apprenticeship or a student that went into a role like assembly that didn't have an apprentice, or we don't have an apprenticeship for it for now. But every student, as long as they meet the competencies, they can go into apprenticeship of their choice. And here's some data based for our range of ages. So a large chunk of that is 18 to 25, but we do have some students in that 26 to 35, and then a little bit of 36 to 45, 45 to 55, and then 55 and up. So there's a wide range of ages in our boot camp. So we have a lot of support services that we can offer also to any student that expresses, needing these resources. We have a lot of community partners that we work with that we can refer them over. So we have Career Counseling Center, we have Counseling and Wellness. They need accommodations in the shop or in class. So let's say they need extra time on a test, or they need a stool in the shop, stuff like that. They need to let us know before they start so we can try and see how we can best accommodate the student. We also have the Women's Center on here on site, and then we have additional workforce training courses that we can provide to the students. So this is the cost breakdown if the student were to be paying out of pocket. So we have the intro course, which is the virtual piece, that's $250. Then we have the core course, that's $2,500. Those are the 2 that are the most important. The optional courses, like I said before, are just optional certifications that the student can take out of pocket. And then we have the supplies estimate, which is either steel toe shoes or leather boots, 40 to 100, depending on where they purchased the boot. But this is completely free to the student. So the shop basics and the core, which totals to $2,750 or $2,750, is free to anybody that is interested. So if this is something that you think you'd like to do, please, please, please feel free to reach out. Take advantage of the fact that it's free. Not only are you getting the schooling and the certification for free, but you're also getting the support services for free. You're getting the resume workshops and the connections to our employer partners, all for free. And then once you get hired into a paid position, and then you get additional training that's paid by the employer. So the student does not have to pay anything out of pocket unless they want to do the additional certifications. So just to recap, students can start as soon as they are ready. We have a cohort running about every 2.5 months during the day. And then we usually have 2 p.m. cohorts a year. So anytime the student says, you know what, I'm going to try this out, they just send an email or give me a ring, and we can try and see which cohort would work best for your schedule. There are assessment tests available. There's practice questions that I give the students if they do have to take the assessment. The day program is typically about 8 weeks long, depending on when it's running. You earn college credits that can transfer into an associate's degree here at CCM. We have 35 and counting employer partners throughout Morris, Warren, and Sussex County, and we're actively looking to make more of those connections. And the student takes the core course in our Advanced Manufacturing Engineering Center here at CCM. And here's my contact information. Like I said before, my name is Yvette Andrade. I am the student contact. If for some reason you email me and I am out of office, you could always contact Amber, who is my program manager, or Jacob, who is another colleague of mine. He focuses more on the company side, but he is more than happy to work with you as well if I'm not available. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Yvette. What an amazing presentation. And to be honest, I'm very impressed with such an amazing program that you guys have there, because the format, the structure, and also how you guys were able to identify a need within the niche and create such a beautiful program that people that might not have the opportunity to be in, say, a regular college or a 4-year, college. So this is an amazing program. So I'm very grateful and thankful to all of you, especially to you for coming here and doing this lunch and learn. Yeah, so thank you very much.
Yes, you're welcome. Our goal as the communities college, right, is to help everybody. If you want an education, but you don't know how to get started, or you don't know where to go, or you're not even sure what you want to do, we're here. The Center for Workforce is here for you. The college itself is here. We have so many resources, so many other programs. If you're not interested specifically in manufacturing, but you are interested in another program through the Center for Workforce that's low cost or free, feel free to reach out, and I can connect you to the right person.
Thank you very much. And I just want to remind everybody, this video is going to be posted in the YouTube channel of Family Partners of Morris and Sussex County. So you guys, if you have any questions or you need to watch the presentation over and over, all that information is going to be there. So thank you, Yvette. And with that, we are going to move to our Q&A session. Thank you.